What's up, Heroclix fam? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a video going over the DC Heroclix Notorious set coming out here in September. Just going over a little bit about what we've seen from the set so far and some of the really cool spoilers. If you're not familiar with the Notorious set, one of my favorite ways to relate to Heroclix and get into the game is actually looking over the underlying themes of these sets, because in my opinion that's the greatest part of Heroclix is all these figures actually come from certain stories and they have these whole series of comics behind them. So in Notorious, some of the overall lying themes are comic books such as Absolute Power, where Batman and Superman kind of become bad guys, Forever Evil, which is just featuring all the supervillains from DC, and I actually haven't got to finish that one yet, but it looks very interesting. And then we're getting stuff from Dceased, which is a pretty awesome comic. There's this one part of the comic where Batman, Robin, and Nightwing all have machine guns and they're shooting these zombies. I thought it was pretty awesome. And then we have Blackest Night, which is, in my opinion, one of the coolest, or my favorite DC stories of all time. It's just so original, and I'll talk about a little bit about those things here. And then another overlying theme in the set is some figures from the Harley Quinn TV series, which is actually pretty good if you've never seen it. So let's talk a little bit about when the pre-release is taking place. So according to WizKids, it's going to be taking place between September 6th and September 19th, with an official release date of September 20th. And then let's look at some of the things you can expect to see in the set. One thing you'll see a lot of is goons. You're going to get a lot of goons in this set. Ones from various different supervillains, such as Joker, Black Manta, and various other ones, the Riddler. And they have an ability where they could basically bring out more goons. Then we have, of course, some of the famous villains from DC, like the Joker. That one's actually pretty good. He puts out smoke tokens at the beginning of the game, between 2 and 4, depending on if you go first or second. And they stay there the whole game, which I think is pretty cool. And then we saw the Deceased Superman. He actually looks really good. He has the Deceased ability, which kind of lets him come back from the dead, but he takes damage. Then moving on, we also saw that the Justice League is getting a team ability buff. It's changed. Now it's similar to, I believe, the Avengers team ability. And then the Crime Syndicate team ability is coming back. And it is copyable now. It used to not be copyable. And I think going forward in a lot of sets, they're going to be creating them with these different formats that we've gotten recently in mind. Here they were talking about making assassins and making it more of a interesting and fun team to play in other game modes, such as theme team play. And then they talked a little bit about new terrain types. Like this Captain Cold creates icebergs that people have to break away from. And then also the Black Lanterns are going to be creating grave markers that go with their various effects. And just to remind you about those terrain markers, they are destroyable with Quake, Super Strength, and Destroy actions. And one more thing in this set that's pretty interesting is we're actually getting the first HeroClix that coincides with a coin mechanic in the game, and that is Two-Face. Depending on heads or tails, you get to bring out a specific Two-Face, which is actually pretty cool. And let's take a second to look at the poster for this set. And like I said, I get really excited because these comic books just get me hyped for these characters. We have the Superman and Batman from Absolute Power. Some other ones I'm interested in are, we're seeing the Polar Bears from Mr. Freeze as a goon, the Black Manta goon's cool, Bizarro, some other henchmen here. Solomon Grundy's really cool. I think he's actually pretty good. We saw OMAC. We haven't seen OMAC Prime yet. We got a couple different Riddlers. We have Grodd here. I'm interested to see what this Grodd does. We have Black Hand, which, if you didn't know, if you haven't read The Blackest Night, he's the one that kind of sets off the Blackest Night prophecy. You know, Harley Quinn from the TV series. This one's really cool. I didn't know that we were going to be getting a Zod just by himself. it looks like he might be a rare or uncommon, because right here is where uncommons and rares separate. I'm not sure if he's going to be rare or uncommon. Then we have like Black Manta, looks really cool. This Killer Croc looks cool. This Black Manta, I'm actually kind of excited to try him out in some different keyword teams. We got Deadshot. We saw he kind of works with assassin teams. Then we have Ra's al Ghul here. He actually looks pretty cool. The regular one and the prime. It looks like those are rares. Prime rare. It might be usable in an assassin team, which might be pretty interesting. Mr. Freeze. Some of these Batman villains got some great treatment in this set, which is, you know, they deserve good treatment. This Mr. Freeze bust looks really great. The Joker looks pretty great. Penguin looks great. Then getting into super rares here, there is a prime super rare Joker. There's a super rare Wonder Woman that looks really great, and the super rare Superman. I'm actually really curious to see what he's going to be like. And then we got those two faces that coincide with the coin. We have a super rare Harley Quinn and a super rare Poison Ivy. That's really great. I definitely want to try to use them as much as I can, and might be a good opportunity to look back at some of the like figures from Batman Team Up, King Shark, the God Shark, Camo. Catwoman looks really great. We have the Mad Hatter here. Toyman. Kite Man's really great. I think it'll actually be pretty fun to run a team of the Harley Quinn TV series. This Kite Man and his girlfriend, Golden Glider, are actually pretty good. We got Metallo. Robin King. This is one that I found interesting because if you know, I believe he's from the Death Metal universe or something with all the different Batmans. This Robin is actually a Bruce Wayne, and I remember reading about him. This is the Bruce Wayne who killed his parents like outside of the movie theater with like a gun or something. It'll be weird to see him. I'm assuming he's a super rare, but it's kind of interesting because he doesn't really fit in this lineup. And then we're going into Black Lanterns here. Black Lantern Batman, we got to see. The bust looks great on that one. And that's another one you might want to look back at some of the other things that we've gotten, like the Batman utility belt, the Robin from Batman Team Up. They all work with just any Batman. Then we have the Superman, Black Lantern Superman, which you'll find out this isn't in the Blackest Night universe. There's actually two Superman. One came over from another universe, and this is that one that came over. So there's a part in Blackest Night where two Superman are fighting. It's actually really awesome. Black Lantern Wonder Woman, Black Lantern Aquaman, Black Lantern Martian Manhunter. That is one I'm actually really excited for. I think this bust looks really great of him. Can't wait to see what he does. Actually really powerful. He's almost like Superman strong. Then Black Lantern Green Arrow. We have a Black Lantern Hal Jordan. That'll be really interesting to see what he can do. Then we're getting into Deceased here. Deceased Batman, which we haven't really got to see a good close-up of yet. But like I said, he'll be able to interact with some of those things like Robin or the Batman utility belts. Deceased Superman we saw. Deceased Wonder Woman we saw the bust of. The Joker, Deceased Joker, I'm actually pretty excited for because I want the Arkham Underworld and Batman Enemy Team ability teams to be awesome, and we are getting some of that infused here. I want to be able to use those teams and just any kind of play and do well. So hopefully we get that. And then we have a Deceased Hawkman. Hopefully that's not another... this isn't going to be a repeat of the last Hawkman we saw. That guy was ridiculous. And then we have the Ultra Chase, which is a Zod Ursa Non. I believe that's how you say it. And just overall a really great looking figure. We'd gotten to see this awesome flavored Poison Ivy, particularly stoked for her being Gotham City Underworld Herald and Scientist. She has this growing the Gotham jungle. When your opponent's terrain markers are being destroyed, you get +5 victory points and generate a plant terrain marker that has, when this marker hinders line of fire, characters instead modify defense +2. She has improved targeting through hindering, which is really good. 5 range, dual targeting, mind control, She has Perplex. She has 2 starting lines: Poison, Barrier, Exploit Weakness, Toughness. The movement ability: Sheltering the Survivors, Stealth, Plasticity. Friendly characters occupying or adjacent to one or more terrain markers generated by Poison Ivy, modify defense +1. She has Crushing Vines, which is freaking awesome. Incapacitate: when Poison Ivy is using it, after resolutions, deal each hit character with the monster keyword 3 damage. This is the first character from Dceased we've seen that's not a chase. She basically saves what's left of life on Earth by enclosing them in these jungle domes. And the Crushing Vines is like her attacking the zombies. Poison Ivy from the set is actually, I think she's really cool. She's got mind control, she's got shape change. She generates these little bystanders that have flurry. I wouldn't mind giving her a try. We have Harley Quinn. She's pretty cool. You're gonna use her in your team if you decide to go with like a Harley Quinn TV series themed team. Frank the Plant. And there's like Mr. Freeze. He looks really great. The polar bear, Mr. Freeze's polar bear, is pretty awesome. And then we saw Necron. He's pretty cool, especially if you're into running a Black Lantern team. Should be interesting to see how that holds up. I think once after a rotation hits, a lot of figures are just going to get better after some of the older stuff goes away. Kite Man we saw, he's really cool. I like that his movement ability. Hell yeah! And then we have the play at home kit with Poison Ivy here. I believe that one comes with the Killer Moth Legacy card. How many points is she? 160. Just in case you've never seen the Black Lanterns before, that's them. I thought this was a really cool picture. And I also wanted to remind you that there's supposed to be, if everything goes according to plan, that there's supposed to be a story organized play kit for this set featuring the Royal Flush Gang, or I believe the winner every month will get, or so will get one of the Royal Flush Gang, and everybody in the tournament will get a bystander token just for participating. And here's a bust of that Black Lantern Martian Manhunter. Looks really great. Then the Prime Joker, Deceased Wonder Woman, and of course we got the Zombie Superman. The reporter keyword just keeps getting better and better, I think. He has, of course, the Deceased trait where he comes back to life, but he takes 1 unavoidable each turn. There's a monster inside of us all. When Superman attacks one or more characters, they can use a brown standard power, modify his attack and damage +1. He can bust through walls. He's got 6 range, 2 different dials, 75 and 60 points. Then I love the flavor for this. I don't have to catch up with him. I can come from the other side. This is actually referring to the Flash, I believe it was, got turned into a zombie. And Superman's like, well, maybe I can try to catch him, on the other side. So he literally just runs head on into the Flash, and I believe a piece of the Flash gets like lodged in him or something, and then Superman becomes a zombie. That's how he becomes a zombie. So that's pretty awesome. He has hypersonic speed, of course. Free, place Superman adjacent to an opposing character within range and line of fire that moved since your last turn. So that makes sense there. Then he has the attack Draining the Sun, which literally he's fighting, I think it was like Wonder Woman or somebody. He was trying to fight the heroes, and I think he realizes he can't win, so he runs and he goes straight into the sun to start absorbing the sun's power, and all the heroes take off. And that's why he has this Draining the Sun pulse wave. When Superman uses it, he may use range 8 instead of range 4, and deals his printed damage value instead of 1 damage. If you do, after resolutions, KO Superman. And of course, this is a piece you could bring out with the World's Finest, which is something I'll definitely have to try out. Joker again. Black Lantern Batman. Looks great. Black Adam, he's actually kind of good. For 100 points, starts out with Invincible. Yeah, I'll give him a try. Black Hand. Deceased Hawkman. Here was actually in my collection the only 2 legacy figures that I have, the Phantom and Man-Bat. So it's kind of nice to actually have legacy figures. I don't have to run out and try and buy them. These are actually 2 characters I really like, so I just thought this was a cool cover. like I was saying, there's actually 2 Superman in the Blackest Night, and one is from a different universe. So I just wanted you guys to check that out. Polka Dot Man, Camo, the God Shark. That's pretty cool. He is deity. He creates those shark tokens. Black Manta actually looks pretty cool. You run him on some different stuff. Legion of Doom, Secret Society of Supervillains, Suicide Squad, Assassin. He's a pirate. That's pretty cool. Solomon Grundy, I think he actually looks great. He's got a bunch of great keywords. He has 2 team abilities. He's stacked with Invincible and Super Strength. And he heals in Water Terrain. I mean, to me that sounds pretty good. This is I believe it's the release day Riddler. And of course I didn't actually snap a picture of the mystery case file. And Golden Glider, she actually looks pretty good. There might be some interesting things to pull off with her. And here's the Black Lantern Superman. Looks pretty cool. Kind of expensive, but he is pretty stacked at the same time. And that's just a picture of all the Royal Flush Gang. So hopefully that goes as planned with the story organized play kit. And that about wraps it up. I just wanted to kind of inform people, especially some of our newer players or anybody who's returning, give them a little insight into the set and see what they're in for. And hopefully we'll see you at a pre-release and some games at our local game stores. And I plan on putting out some more videos, especially as soon as the set drops. I have been on a little bit of a hiatus just because I found out that we had I have been on a little bit of a hiatus because I found out that Notorious had got pushed back, which was kind of a bummer. I was looking forward to this October Halloween being full of like Black Lanterns and Ghost Riders from Wheels of Vengeance, and I don't know if it's really going to turn out that way this year. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked the video, and we'll catch you on the next one.